I believe that any mistake is a valuable recipe. When I was 25, I made so many mistakes that I sometimes wondered if I would ever do anything right. I failed my university exams 3 times. Believe me, I was rejected from more than 30 jobs, including KFC. But I've never regretted those failures. In fact, each one taught me something new, something that helped me become the person and entrepreneur I am today. That's what I tell every young person. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, because every mistake is your teacher. Especially in the early years of your career, it's essential to experiment and dare. The sooner you fail, the faster you learn and the stronger you become. And you know, when you go through these difficulties, you realize that success doesn't come without obstacles. It's like I always say, success is built on the mistakes you overcome. There's no easy path, but every stumble that you value as a learning experience is a step closer to your goal. I clearly remember each of the rejections I faced. They left their mark, but they never stopped me. When I look back, I realize that this is exactly what made me stronger. Making mistakes didn't make me retreat. On the contrary, it made me move forward with greater determination. With every no I received, I gained more confidence that something greater was waiting for me. What kept me going was the certainty that if I didn't persist, who else would? If you're just starting out, remember that failures are not the end of the line, but the beginning of something new. What differentiates people who dream from those who achieve is how they deal with their mistakes. So every time you make a mistake, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Because it is in the midst of challenges that you will discover your true strength. Every mistake you value is a stepping stone towards success. When I was young, I didn't know much about business. In fact, what drove me was curiosity and the desire to learn. But one thing I realized early on is that the leader you follow makes all the difference in your career. I didn't choose my first opportunities because of the name of the company, but because of the leaders I admired. I've always believed that more important than the company you work for is the boss you follow. I learned so much from my first mentors that it shaped my vision of the future and innovation. Working with people who share your dreams is one of the greatest blessings you can have in your career. A good leader is not just one who commands, but one who inspires. They challenge you to think outside the box, ask questions, and reinvent yourself. This is what I found in my first mentors. People who showed me that the future belongs to those who dare to dream and work hard. And that made me understand that it's not just about what you do, but about how you grow alongside someone who believes in you. I remember thinking several times, if not now, when? If not me, who? It's this kind of mentality that a good leader instills in you, pushing you to be the best version of yourself. Following a quality leader isn't just about learning to be a good professional, it's about becoming a better person. This goes beyond technical skills. It's about developing resilience, vision, and above all, the will to make a difference. You can be sure, the lessons you learn alongside a good leader are the ones you take with you for the rest of your life. It was these lessons that helped me form my own vision of leadership based on inspiration rather than command. The leader who challenges you to leave your comfort zone is the same one who prepares you to build something bigger in the future. That's the real strength of quality leadership. So if you're at the beginning of your journey, don't worry so much about the name of the company you're in. Ask yourself, am I being inspired by the leader I follow? Because it is this inspiration that will shape the professional and, more importantly, the human being that you will become. If you're under 30, my advice is simple. Follow your intuition and explore new paths. When I was young, I didn't know much about technology, but I sensed that the internet had enormous potential. It was this intuition that led me to start something that nobody else saw at the time. The uncertainties you face today will be the stories that tell your success story tomorrow. When you take risks while you're young, the possibilities are endless. Youth is the perfect time to experiment, try new things, and dare. When I started out, everyone thought I was crazy for believing that the internet could be so big. But I believed in my vision, and that's exactly what you should do. Don't limit yourself by other people's expectations. If you have a dream, pursue it with everything you've got, even if no one else believes in it. After all, entrepreneurs must have vision and dreams. Without that, they're just sailing aimlessly. It's interesting to realize that when you're young, the risks are smaller than they seem. I've always known that failures are part of the journey, so why not take a chance? That's the beauty of being a young entrepreneur. The world is open to your ideas, and if you make a mistake, you still have time to get up and try again. The most important thing is not to be afraid to take the first step, because as I always say, if everything is ready, it's too late. When I reached my 40s, I realized it was time to focus on what I really knew how to do well. But before that, I needed to explore, experiment, and discover where my true abilities lay. This process of discovery only happens when you allow yourself to make mistakes and learn. So, while you're young, don't waste the opportunity to discover new talents, new passions, and perhaps even a new purpose. Remember, youth passes quickly, but the lessons you learn from taking risks and following your intuition will stay with you forever. Don't wait for the right moment to come along. Make your moment happen. After all, when you're young and have a dream, as I often say, you never really feel poor. You have the wealth of vision and energy, and that's worth more than anything else. When I reached 40, I realized it was time to focus on what I was really good at. During my younger years, I took risks, tried new things, made a lot of mistakes, and learned from every one of them. But at 40, the game changed. I knew I needed to consolidate my strengths and focus on what made me stand out. Entrepreneurship isn't just about dreaming. It's about knowing where to put your energy to get the best results. So, at this stage of life, it's crucial to identify your best skills and work on them.